So I didn't have enough clay for my original slab, so I had to re-wedge this really, really well. Make sure that it's nice and moist so that it's easier to wedge. You don't want it to be dry, so you might need to spray your canvas. Then you can start to flatten that out so that we can roll another slab for our top. So again, I'm kind of throwing at an angle, not throwing it, I'm kind of letting it fall to flatten that out. Once it's flatter, it makes it easier, then I don't have to roll as much. When I'm ready to roll, I'm going to set up my rulers, one ruler each side. I'm going to move this out of the way so it doesn't get ruined. I'm going to roll this out. Flip it, roll it out. So now that you hear my ruler, it's all equal thickness. So I have my slab. I'm going to pull it a little closer, flip it, make sure it's not stuck to the table. And I'm going to take my cylinder. Lights went off. I'm going to take my cylinder and I'm going to set it on top to make sure that my slab is big enough to fit around the bottom of it. So I see that it is. Maybe I'll trace around that with my pen just so I see where my circle is. Because now I'm going to slip and score the bottom of my cylinder and then this slab so that I can attach them. So I'm going to carefully take this. This is pretty flimsy. I'm going to carefully hold it, dip my toothbrush in, and I'm going to slip and score the bottom of my cylinder. And then I'm going to slip and score inside the circle that I traced around my cylinder with. Make sure I'm adding enough slip. Now I'm going to lightly press it, I'm going to reshape it, make sure it's that, well, depending on if you want it to be close to a cylinder shape, if you want it turned, twisted a little bit, or a little more curvy, that will determine how you shape this. If yours is an oval, you'd be tracing an oval shape out of this, just like you did on your model, or a teardrop shape, or any of the shape that you did. So once I have it sitting on top of there, I'm going to take something. I'm going to take my ruler. Some artists use paddles, and I'm going to lightly press on this to make sure that it is pressed down onto that slab. Got to be careful though, because if you hit it too hard, the clay is still very soft. So I'm going to take a tool and I'm going to trace around my circle, my cylinder on the bottom, but I'm going to leave a little bit of room because we're going to use that to pull up and attach on our piece. So I'm tracing around my circle, leaving a little bit of room around it. Once I have that cut, I can take away my excess slab. Might want to save it if I need to have a top on mine. I'm going to try to pull this up. I'm just going to make sure that it's not stuck to the canvas. And now I'm going to take a tool, green one, and I'm going to pull up. So I cut a little bit bigger so that I'd have some clay that I could pull up to attach this. So I'm going to have my hand on the inside to support it, and then I'm going to use that excess clay to pull up and attach all the way around. Move it so you can see it. Using that to pull the clay up. The The most important part right now is just to make sure that it's all the way attached. We can smooth that out and change things later. It's not going to look so pretty right now maybe, but we can smooth that out after we have it attached, because you want to make sure that they're attached properly. So now I have my cylinder with my bottom on it. Also, you might want to take a coil to put on the inside of the cup or of your cylinder to make sure that it is attached on the inside too.